Hi, everyone. Welcome. Unfortunately, our presenter today was having some internet issues, but she did have a recorded session. So if you're joining us today for a quick mindful movement session, we will still be hosting that. Unfortunately, it's just not live today. But we will go ahead and get started here. Thank you so much for joining.
Julie, I don't think we could hear.
This project is supported by SAMHSA. The content is developed by the presenter, and the opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect the views or policies of SAMHSA, HHS, or...
Sorry about that. One moment.
For the American Indian and Alaska Native MHTCC. Although we are gathered virtually today, we want to take the time to acknowledge the land and pay respect to the Indigenous nations whose homelands were forcibly taken and inhabited. Please take a moment to read this land acknowledgement, which has been created by 3 members of our team, Ella Driscoll, Keely Driscoll, and Sean Bear. This series is brought to you by the K-12 School Supplement Grant Team. This is Teresa Brewington, our project manager. Her background includes a master's in educational leadership, master's in business administration, and progress toward a master's in counseling. She's an enrolled member of the Coharie tribe and a descendant of the Lumbee tribe. She joins us from the Meskwaki settlement in Tama, Iowa, where she currently resides. Julia Bulwitt is a research associate from the University of Iowa and has been assisting on K-12 projects for the past year. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology from Ball State University and a master's in clinical mental health counseling from the University of Iowa. Kate Pruce is a graduate research assistant from the University of Iowa and has been with the K-12 initiative since February of 2021. Kate holds a bachelor's degree in child, adult, and family services with a minor in psychology from Iowa State University, and she is currently working on her master's in school counseling at the University of Iowa. This program and many others are offered through our center located in Iowa City, although we serve across the U.S. Here you will find contact information for our program manager, as well as our program guide for our other services and technical assistance request form. Please reach out to us with any interest in these programs. Today we welcome Victoria Marie, Iron Plume Woman. Victoria has worked with our K-12 projects throughout 2021. She has brought her expertise in youth engagement, movement, meditation, and healing through all kinds of medicine. She is an enrolled tribal member of the Sisseton Wahpeton, mother, artist, and founder of Indigenous Lotus. Victoria is joining us today from the Twin Cities in Minnesota and will continue to lead K-12 projects with our center. Welcome, Victoria, and thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm just going to change my view really quick. All right. So we will be practicing in chair, but the poses that we are practicing in chair can be done standing as well. They're what people sometimes consider difficult. So we're going to work on practicing in a way that we feel comfortable in our bodies so that it's not considered difficult or challenging or unattainable. I'm still trying to get my voice back. I was in Newtown, or not Newtown, I was in North Dakota. So a lot of that dust is kind of still here, but we'll go ahead and get started. If anything comes up, please feel free to go ahead and you can unmute. Well, I guess leave it in the chat box and then and try to respond after. So let's go ahead and get started. So sitting in chair, we just want to make sure that we are comfortable. Checking our space. If you feel like you need something underneath the feet, you can bring blocks or pillows. We are going to begin a slight warm up in chair and then go to standing, and we'll come right back to chair. So if you plan to stay seated the entire time, you are more than welcome to keep your socks on. If you are going to stand up, please take your socks off. Because it gets really slippery. And I'll adjust my seat too as I'm moving. So sitting up tall. Back away from the back of the chair. Hands are resting in our lap. Just comfortable. Hands can be stacked on top of each other. And I invite you to close your eyes, taking this moment to calm your thoughts, your breath. Allow for the shoulders to relax. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the nose. And what we want to find, explore, is our natural breath. And the calmer your breath gets, you'll begin to notice your heartbeat. Any mind chatter is quieted down. Just continuing to focus on the heartbeat and your natural breathing pattern. Breathing into the belly. And as you find the natural rhythm, you'll begin to notice the muscles in the face, any tension. Just start to relieve itself. Now that we've all come together in this space of our natural calm breathing, our quieted thoughts, and our regulated heartbeat, and we begin to open the eyes, looking forward, and we'll begin our warm-up, taking the head over to the right, down and over to the left. So from side to side, not forcing anything, just allowing for the movement. From ear to shoulder. Head rises. And take the hands down, bring the shoulders up towards the ears, and bring them back. And as you're moving too, notice if anything is coming up that you might want to pay extra attention to. Maybe we slept a little bit funny on one side, checking our neck, our shoulders, our back. So when we're getting into these poses and this movement, that we're being mindful We're being kind to our bodies. And we'll begin circling out the hands. Both directions. Palms face down. Fingers out to the side. Fingers spread wide. Palms face up. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we'll twist over to the left. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, arms rise up. Plant the hands down to the knees and slowly draw them down. Chin towards the chest. Inhale, rising up. Arms rise. Twisting over to the right. Relaxing the shoulders. Chin towards that back shoulder. Towards the right shoulder. Inhale, arms rise. Hands come together. Exhale, heart center. Now, we're going to go ahead and stand. If you do have your chair with you, you can use that for support. I will just use it just because I have it with me. At any time I'm placing my hand on the chair, you can place your hand at your hip or down at your side. Depends on how you're feeling today when it comes to balance. So standing up tall, I'm going to take my right knee, pick it up and circle out. Now again, you can practice with your hand down at the side. I like to keep my right hand just kind of gliding from thigh to knee. And bring it in. Now we are warming up the hips because the poses that we will be doing, something like warrior, crescent, and we need that mobility here. So we want to awaken those muscles. Knee towards the chest. Now keeping that knee lifted up or keeping that slight bend, we're going to circle out the foot. Both directions. We're going to take that hand, grasp onto the outside of that back foot. So I'm holding onto the ankle. Actively using my forearm muscles to draw that heel closer to the back. Keeping that knee bent, bring it towards the chest. Flex the foot, lower down. Switching sides. Now this is something you can do right when you get out of bed. Notice after I had my daughter, I was actually practicing these every morning and at night. And circling from out to in. Now when we're standing, we don't want to shift weight on that right side. We want to stand up tall and actively use those muscles. Knee towards the chest, pull in, flex that foot. Again, I'm pulling with my forearm, lowering down, circle up the foot. Both directions. Knee to chest. Go ahead and lower it down. And we're going to take that hand, bring it to that left ankle on the outside. Again, pulling with that forearm, you'll notice that bend in the elbow. Standing up tall. Now, these are the same as you can get into dancer from here as well. So this is beyond, you don't have to do this, but at home, if you'd like to lean forward, lift up, bring that shoulder forward. That is something you can practice. So knee to chest, flex the foot. All right, let's go ahead and lower down. Now I'm going to keep the seat of my chair in front of me, because what I want to do is I want to stretch a little bit more of the back leg muscles and my back. I'm just going to adjust the camera a bit. All right, so standing tall, inhale, arms rise, and exhale, we're a forward fold. Here I'm actually going to forward fold to the seat, but you can also forward fold all the way down. We kind of shake out any tension in the head. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the upper body. So I'm reaching through the crown of my head. Exhale, forward fold. Really breathe into the upper back. Micro bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. And we're gonna bend through the knees. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and try these so-called difficult poses, but for some of us, this might be a part of our normal practice. So this here, we're gonna focus on holding. I'm scooting back so you can see the placement of my feet, because that's also very important. Now, first, I'll show you standing. So when I stand up tall, I'm going to go ahead and take my feet out. So my feet are out pretty far. You don't want them out too far. Keeping that back one, so we'll say our right, we'll draw those toes in just a little bit so that the ankle is sticking out just like half an inch. Left toes, turn those forward or turn them off to the left side. Going into our warrior, we want to bend that front knee. Our torso is continuing to face forward or the side of the mat. We're going to extend those arms out, relax the shoulders. Navel draws in, a slight tiny tuck of the tailbone. Palms face down. And then we'll turn our focus towards that left hand. Now, holding there, if you're doing this in standing. And now the key here is when you are pressing into that left leg, you want to press into the heel, not the knee, pressing into the heel. So now if you are joining in sitting, you can go ahead and bring that bent knee closer to the edge of the seat, shoot that leg back. Torso is continuing to face forward, arms extend out. Here, we don't have to focus on pressing into that heel. Now, if you are doing this in standing, the best way to alleviate any of that tension going on here with the muscles, if you're holding, lengthen through that front leg without locking that joint right into it. So being here in chair, my toes are still going to pull in just a little bit. My heel is out. My torso is facing forward, arms extended. So keeping that torso forward, arms extend out, palms face down, relax the shoulders. And then just turn the chin towards that left shoulder. If at any time you need to, or you feel like my shoulders are getting tired, my arms are, you can always bring hands to heart center. You can always rest them down, but continuing to take that chin to left shoulder. So different modifications or options. Now, slowly getting out of it. If you're in standing, lengthen through that front leg. If you are in chair, go ahead and scoot your seat. So scoot your sit bones closer to the center, pull, draw that back leg in. And now feet come together. Now, if you were standing and you lengthen, go ahead and turn the toes forward, step together, and rest the hands. Now, practicing onto the other side, same thing. You might feel a little bit more tighter, or you actually might feel a little bit more better on one side than the other. So if we are in chair, go ahead and take that right knee out to the side. Keeping that torso facing forward, we're going to go ahead and shoot that back leg back, adjust the hips. Again, that bent knee comes closer to the edge of the chair. Those toes are drawn in while the heel is pressed out. Keeping that torso facing forward. Arms extend out, palms face down, turn the chin. Now, at any time, it's not set in stone that you should keep the hands down. You can play with internal, external rotation here of the shoulders. It's mobility and strength. You can bring the hands up. Again, moving mindfully, maybe play around here with your arms. And just notice how you're feeling, what you're focusing on. Now, if you're in standing, we're going to press into that front heel. Torso faces forward, arms extend. Same thing. Maybe you want to lengthen to that front leg and get right back into it. Now, if you've practiced, you know that there are different variations we can do here. Extend in side angle, reverse. Reverse can be done with that arm front or back. Whichever one you would like to do, or you can just stay here and hold. Continuing to breathe. That navel comes in, slight tuck of the tailbone, but we're continuing to breathe in the belly. At any time you need to lengthen through that front leg if you're in standing. Now, toes face forward. Adjust the hips so they are forward as well. Let's go ahead and join the feet together, or the knees if you're in chair. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, forward fold. And forward fold as well if you're in chair. Inhale, halfway lift. Bending the knees, pressing through the feet. We'll inhale, rise. Now I always do that slow, taking our time. Now let's go ahead and get into crescent. Crescent is a high lunge. So again, my back is away from the back of the seat. Now I'm going to take my left leg out. This time, my back leg is going to shoot back. I want to pull that knee closer to that seat. This time, I'm going to extend that leg out. My heel's lifted. Now, you can stay here. It always depends, too, on the length of the chair. For some of us, when we are doing this pose in chair, we might need a block underneath our foot. But again, we can just go ahead and turn the hips to the left side. Torso also turns to the left side. And we want to sit up tall as we can. If you feel comfortable, you can sit up even taller, resting the hands anywhere you'd like. Now, if you're in standing, So I'm standing, step back. I want to engage this back leg muscle. So engaging that back thigh muscle, again, pressing into that front heel, okay? So pressing into that front heel. I want to draw, even though my heel is not touching the back, I want to draw that heel towards the mat. Engage the back muscles. Sitting up tall, navel draws in, shoulders relax, crown of the head towards the sky. Again, pressing into that front heel, option to take your hands wherever you'd like. If you would like to extend them up. At any time, you can lengthen through that front leg, or bring those hands down, lower the back knee, untuck the back toes. Now again, we are holding and we are breathing. Breathing into the belly. Explore sending your breath to different areas of your body. Tucking the toes, if you are in standing, you can lift that back knee and inhale, rise up again. Now, from standing, we're just going to go ahead and step to the top of the mat. You can always walk the legs out if you need to. Now, crescent, other side. This time we're going to take this right foot, turn it out to the right side. We're going to adjust the hips as well, and as we do so, we're going to take that back leg and shoot it out behind us. Everything always depends too on the seat of our chair. So if you'd like, you can sit up taller here. Again, engage those thigh muscles, draw that back heel towards the floor or the back of the mat. And continue holding and breathing into the belly. Explore sending your breath to different spaces. I actually want to share something that I read when it comes to breath work. This is geared towards men, but women can also send it to different spaces as well. Let's get into crescent on this side first, and then I'll go ahead and explain. So, stepping back, bending that front knee, pressing into that front heel. Engage those back leg muscles, draw that heel down towards the mat. Torso faces off to this right side. And again, play with the arms however you would like. If you like to keep them at the side, you can go ahead and do so. At any time, you can lower down, tuck the toes, pressing in, whichever option works for you. Now, when we talk about breath work, what I was saying for men, because this was actually brought up by a man, when we talk about breathing consciously, because then I'll talk about this for women as well. With men, if you can inhale and send your breath to your testicles and feel them expand, and exhale. Practice that for a moment. And for women, if you still have your egg, your reproductive system here, you can also inhale, send your breath consciously to your womb and to those spaces. Feel it expand. And exhale. Thought I'd share that. It was really interesting, and I've not ever heard of anybody share that. So let's go ahead and, if we were standing, go ahead and come to the top of the mat. If you were in chair, and walk it out too. You need to walk the legs out. If you're in chair, go ahead and bring the knees together, lower the feet. Now you can stay in standing, or you can stay in chair. Knees under hips, ankles under knees. Sitting up tall, relaxing the shoulders. Go ahead and any movements that you need to get out here, or anything that's come up, arching the spine, maybe those wrists, stretching those fingers. Big stretch. Whatever you would like to explore at this moment, go ahead and take that time. And when you're done, let's go ahead and come to a still standing or seated position, hands resting in the lap. Now, when I talk about expansion in the breath, think of some places within the body. Perhaps it's not just your reproductive system, but also your heart, maybe your liver. We hold one of our emotion, anger is held in our liver, maybe if you've been frustrated, anything like that. So think about some different parts of the body, some different organs that you might want to breathe into at this moment. Go ahead and do so. And as we do so, we want to inhale, deep breath. Hold for just a second. And exhale. One more time. Big, deep inhale. Hold. Exhale. Let's go ahead and take those hands down. We're going to reach out to our circle here that we have this afternoon. Closing our eyes. Reaching out, sending out that energy, that support. And also being open to receiving it. Let's go ahead, inhale, arms rise, draw all that up above. Exhale, draw it into heart center. And bow forward, thumbs come to center brow. That is, say thank you for taking this time for yourself and for others. Miigwech, Padamya, thank you. Thank you for being here this afternoon.